Alright guys, I'm gonna try to blast through this because we got a lot of new stuff that I haven't went over yet. Welcome to the Spiderweb. So, first off, Mirage Fafnir F6. Finally, I know some other people made videos on this already and I'm sorry I'm late to the party, but I had some work to do. Alright, so I'm gonna cut to the chase. Yes, Fafnir indeed has rubber. You have a Nothing SP versus Nothing Speedstorm. It's a tall version of Nothing. And no, there is no 2S chassis disc. It is just 1A. A recolored 1A. I'm glad they colored it as the 2S chassis disc from 2S chassis, but I wish we actually got the 2S chassis. I don't know if they'll actually make it or not. Maybe they will, but maybe they won't. Who knows? Although I will say I'm happy that we actually get a chassis disc on this bay. Instead of just something cheesy like Aereo Dash. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Brave Valtrek. Alright, moving on. Here's a close-up shot of Mirage Fafnir. It looks amazing. Thank you, Hasbro, for nailing this one. The chip looks good. The ring looks good. I'm glad there's a rubber. Oh, and if you don't believe me about the rubber, yeah, zooming in. Rubber power absorption. Don't tell me it doesn't have rubber now. You can't tell me it doesn't have rubber. You can't make fun of Hasbro for, oh my gosh, no rubber. Ha, not anymore. They got the rubber back. And they're making a rubber Pro Series Judgment Joker. I wasn't able to find any pictures on it, but they are doing it. Other YouTubers did it. Particularly Zenki and Cypress. Alright, moving on. I'll add those links to the description for those who still don't believe me, even though we have visual evidence. Next up, Raid Luinor. Love how we get a 3A chassis disc. Why did they make 3A and not 2S? I don't know, but Destroy SPM, so it's a metal driver. I'm glad these bays are in starters so far. That makes them easy to get. I do not know if Raid has metal or not because of certain things. If I can show y'all. Oh well, here's a close-up of Raid. Yeah, I don't think that's metal. I really don't think that's metal on the layer or ring. Okay, two things. The chip looks great. The ring looks bad. I'm sorry. In my opinion, the ring, it looks okay. I'm glad it's like white and everything, but it really needs a lot more detail. Like, how can you nail the chip and then look at the ring and then be like, "Hey, that's all we're gonna do. We're just gonna add some little blue streaks there and some small dragon heads." Yeah, that's how we do it, boys. This is exactly how we do it. Like, just how? It doesn't make any sense, guys. It doesn't make any sense, but whatever. Moving on. Yeah, back of the box. Yeah, I really don't think there's metal. It just says fused attack power. If it had metal, they probably would have said something about it. Or something. They would have said basically they would have just said something. I'm not going to keep repeating the same thing. Well, I think it's going to be good. Yes, I think it's going to be pretty good if it has good slopes. Moving on. Alright, next we got Demise Devilos D6. I really love the Devilos line, and I'm glad we actually get a chassis disc for it. Merge SP. I do not know if it has rubber on it. If it did have rubber, it would probably be a different color. But I don't know. It doesn't seem like it'll have rubber. If it doesn't have rubber, though, I won't be surprised, and I probably won't be mad either, because the way how Speedstorm works, rubber tips are not the best for those stadiums, as seen with Evolution SP. I really hope that this driver is still good. Most likely it will be. But yeah, Devilos looks great. Like, here's a close-up picture. It really does look great. You can't tell me that looks bad. That looks good. That looks good. I love, like, the chip is awesome. It just looks good. Now, this stock is automatically better than the Takara Tomy stock because at least it gets a wide disc. Like, come on, Takara Tomy. Why did you have to give it? Well, they gave it the term frame which scrapes a whole bunch. I actually don't like the term frame, as unique as it is. Actually, it can't really say it's that unique either because there's a lift frame that does almost the exact same thing. It just looks different. and it's wider and scrapes even more. But yeah, it's pretty much it about this Bey. Back of the box. Oh yeah, the chassis disc is 1D or 1B. I keep getting mistaken. There's no 1D chassis disc. No, just 1B. Fused attack power. As if that makes any sense. Moving on. Wyvern W6 looks. It reminds me of this recolored Roctivore that we got years ago during the Evolution line. It comes with Yell, which is a pretty decent disc, and actually I can't say it's decent. Yell is like Outer. It's like it has around the same weight as Outer, so that's pretty good. And also it comes with Edge SP. That's probably gonna be the most off-balance Beyblade part I'll ever see. It's probably gonna be more off-balance than Takara Tomy's Just. Maybe, just maybe. We'll see how it is. Close-up shot. Not even gonna bother looking at the back of the box because why? All right, next up, Abyss Devilos D6. Hasbro. Okay, you nailed demise, but you just had to bring Abyss Devilos to its own demise. Like, the layer looks great. The chip, decent. I love the middle. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna zoom in on that layer. But why 5? I know the Takara Tomy version has 5, but you did not have to mimic that. And if you wanted to put on 5, you could have put on a frame. Why? And then, what is that? Survive? Why did they mimic the stop? Oh my god. They didn't have to mimic. Well, then again, it was in the manga. I guess it makes some amount of sense, but they could have added a frame or something. I mean, you decided not to make 2S. You could have changed something. Like, dudes. Why? Just why? At least it's not in some random booster. We don't have to waste a bunch of money on it just to get and then realize it sucks. We can actually well, we already know it's probably not going to be the best, but it's going to be a lot easier to get because, you know, cheaper, not a booster. Hooray. Props to Hasbro. Close-up shot, and look at the centerpiece. It's like a little star thing. Like, what? That looks great. That looks great. The peppermint Bey. So we have the blueberry, we got the banana, now we got a peppermint. This is awesome. I like the ring. This is good. The chip is okay. Moving on. That's it. Alright, now we're getting to some real good stuff. Would you look at this? Lord Hydrax. That looks sweet. Spiral Trepton T4. Okay. Comes with a 13 disc and a blue Survive Slingshot. Now that looks cool. I actually like that. I'm not really the fan of Survive. It's okay. It's not bad. Especially Survive Slingshot. It's not that bad. The Lord Hydrax comes with the convert disc. Okay, and a black Trick Hypersphere. A black Trick Hypersphere. No, I'm actually impressed. I like that. I really like that. I'm definitely picking this one up. That looks good. Really good. Alright, close up of Lord Hydrax. Yep, I'm sold with that one. They could have added some detail on the Spryzen heads that are on the Lord base, but everything else looks great. The black axe colors and then the bronze, like, they just nailed this. They nailed that. Treptune. Reminds me of a piece of candy, but I'm still gonna pick it up. You really picked this up for the Hydrax, and I guess if you're really like the color blue, the blue Survive, or that's more of an indigo color. But I think this is gonna be good. Hasbro's Treptune was actually pretty good despite not having rubber, but then they did make a version with rubber, which was pretty much better. But you could say that the ones without rubber can be used more for attack combinations. Like, seriously, they released this attack combo, like this attack style, is Aqua X Treptune, and it was pretty good. I was like very surprised. So yes, the Treptune layer without rubber and the one with rubber can be very useful for the Hasbro meta. Alright, moving on. Back of the box, hooray! Alright, the king of the whole video. Vex Lucius L6. Wow. Just, wow, that looks amazing. And look, we get Mobius. Mobius Speedstorm. Not a metal driver, but that's okay. The 2D chassis disc. So they didn't skip out on that. They did skip out on the gimmick though. There is no chassis disc gimmick. You know where they had those the barrier thing? That's gone. Now to those who are whining about it, you gotta be honest. The gimmick sucked. It was terrible. It was absolute trash. Like it did. Like all it did was kill variant stamina. It just didn't work out for it. It didn't, and the animated made it look all OP, of course, but in real life, it was absolute trash. I don't want to hear any debate in the comments. You can't deny that. That's a literal fact. You just watch any video with it, and it like rarely wins against right spins, and right spins are more common than left spins. So those who are like, oh well, it was good against left spins. Yeah, true, but the tongues wear out anyway. So then it's not going to be that good. And the variant ring wasn't good for Takara Tomy either, so yeah, overall it wasn't a good day. However, well, it came with a good driver though. However, Vex Lucius L6. Now, I think Vex would actually be useful for Hasbro, because really the main reason why variant wasn't good for Takara Tomy is because it was so light compared to all the other rings. But since Hasbro doesn't have a layer weight distribution issue, this might actually be good. Now, it could still be bad, but of course we have to test it out. Now, let's get a closer look at this thing, because, oh wait, nope. Oh, back of the box, fused attack power. As if it was meant to attack anyway, but then again, it has a buff chassis disc. I really like it. 2D, I'm not even gonna go over the stats. Right spin, yeah, obvious. Moving on. That looks great. That looks great. Yeah, you can whine about the, maybe some lack of detail. But honestly, they got, I mean, when it comes to color. However, it still looks vibrant. You can still see the eyes. You can see the, like, the face. And like you can see all the markings there. I count that as detail, because it would be different if they just made it like completely smooth and then slapped 2 dots on it and then said Lucius. No, they put all the markings in there. That looks great. That looks great. Now the chip in the does not have metal on it. It's not like the Takara Tomy version, but honestly, when it comes to the Hasbro meta, they don't need it. They really don't need it. Some people are going to be complaining about, oh, well, the chips are all hollowed out, blah, blah, blah. Listen. Despite them being hollowed out, they were still pretty good. Like, Turbo Spryzen, okay? It still struggles against Monster, which is a hollowed out layer base. A hollowed out layer base. Like, Monster is still really good. And then, Shield was still pretty good. Like, a lot of people act like hollowed out bases means automatic trash. No, just no. Super Hyperion, hollowed out for Hasbro, still very strong. Curse of Tomb has a lot of defense, even though it's hollowed out. Glide Roctivore, hollowed out, still pretty good. Glyph Dragon, hollowed out, still pretty good. Like, just because the bay is hollowed out doesn't mean it's gonna be bad. Crusher Doomsizer was actually hollowed out for the most part, and it's still broken. Broken as in it's OP. Like, you can make a lot of good combos with that thing. Like seriously, guys, I don't want to hear any complaints about being hollowed out, because it doesn't matter for Hasbro. It just doesn't. Alright, that's all I'm gonna say. All these bays so far look great, except Abyss. I'm not a fan of Abyss, as in the stock. The ring will be pretty good, but everything else, I don't know. Maybe the chip will have good slopes, but the parts are just no-no. They're just big no-no. I'll find some way to make it good. I'll find some way. Anyways, that's it. Thank y'all for watching. Keep blading. And no arguing in the comments. I can't stand it.